verdade, até o título dessa fala aqui menciona o direito à estética, né? A estética, na verdade, aqui ela não teve um atributo tão... Não houve a intenção de criar um marco urbano ou de diferenciar totalmente das edificações na favela. Foi muito mais uma busca de uma solução racional para um problema dado. É uma escola de música de altíssima qualidade, então eu diria que é o direito à qualidade, que é uma coisa, dentro da realidade brasileira, muito inovadora, né? Imaginar uma escola de música de altíssima performance, de altíssima qualidade, sendo feita dentro de uma favela, especialmente dentro de uma área crítica da favela. Então é isso que está acontecendo dentro desse volume. A escola da música, agora a escola de dança, vai ter uma área de performance, como a gente vai conhecer mais adiante. As conexões que eu havia mencionado, porque além das rampas e escadarias no espaço aberto, existe também uma passarela que vai ligar a porta mais alta com o edifício, e o edifício em si, dentro da torre de circulação vertical, vão ir à escola da música, mas que vão estar, de alguma forma, promovendo a ligação de um lado da favela para o outro lado, né? Aqui é a cota mais alta, desce, e aqui já tem uma outra cota mais alta. Então isso tudo vira um sistema de circulação de pedestres que podem utilizar o próprio edifício como um espaço público e simplesmente de circular, né? Aqui a torre do elevador, que vai se tornar como um elevador público. E aqui os acessos principais ao edifício, né? Como vias, essa aqui, ela existe parcialmente, mas esse trecho vai ser novo, vai criar um pequeno lar que possibilita chegar com o transporte público mais dentro da favela, né? E conecta com o solo da Escola da Música, onde tem lá uma série de equipamentos, de instalações técnicas, e logo acima vem a quadra. Bom, o sistema que eu mencionei, mas o sistema de circulação através das rampas, que permite ter uma acessibilidade universal, independente do uso do elevador e da escada, que são coisas que vão acontecer em paralelo. Como demonstra aqui, como a gente conectou, como possibilitou conexão entre o espaço aberto, o espaço público, com o próprio edifício. Nessa imagem a gente vê a questão do paisagismo e como foi integrado com os espaços onde vão poder desenvolver as hortas comunitárias, os espaços de agricultura urbana.
So it takes a time to switch the slides. So when you look at the right picture, at that one, it's the same, it's Germany, but it's a proportional map. It's that the calculation is counted into the area. We see that really the population of the state of North Rhine-Westphalia is quite high. It's the highest population within one state in Germany. So that's because of the rural area, because all that. Essen is the hometown of the Thyssen company. I think Krupp and Thyssen are very well-known companies here in Brazil too. I think Thyssen, Brazil, is also situated with its headquarters in Sao Paulo, and so that's why I took the example of Dortmund. So in medieval time, in the 18th century, there were the first coal mines in the rural area, and that was strengthened in the past. And so the whole rural area was developed around coal mines and steelwork that followed the coal mines. And for example, here that are the Krupp factories in Essen. They are now dismantled, but that's a picture of 1905. And that is one of the coal mines also in Essen. There were a lot, 20, 30 coal mines in each of these cities. All these coal mines today are closed down. There's only one, I think, existing, still working. And all the steelworks, almost all of them, are totally closed, nobody's working there. So that meant a real structural change for the rural area. First of all, there was starting in 1957, the coal crisis. But I would say that the coal crisis didn't start then, it started before, it started right before the Second World War, because coal imported from other countries was cheaper than the coal that was found in Germany. But there was a big demand after the Second World War in Germany for coal as a primary material for the steel industry. So all the resources, coal resources, were used in Germany as much they needed, as much they could get, like China today, just to build up again the economy of Germany. But when you act on the problems, how you are going to act on the problems, you are going to you are going to look only at certain specific problems, or you're trying to get a vision for the whole area and to try to interweave some solutions and to try to develop a certain master plan for an area. That is all up in the air at the start, but for Germany and especially for the rural area, there were some new instruments being developed. First, we have historically very formal, as I mentioned before, planning processes, like the regional associations of municipalities and their reaction from the state government, but also from the federal government, from the government of the state of North Rhine-Westphalia. And there were certain instruments installed, and I just only selected two of these instruments, like the Initiative for the Future of the Mining Region of North Rhine-Westphalia, and the Initiative for the Future of the Regions of North Rhine-Westphalia. And there was an important structural change within these two programs. You see, the first one has been founded in the year 1987, and the second in the 89. That was because they saw that something went wrong. The main thing was that this initiative had its own budget. That was not good, because all the municipalities affected by the structural change then tried to present to this initiative all these development ideas and plans and programs they had before, but that had not been accepted for subsidies or for some kind of support and had been rejected. So now there's no chance to present them. If you got labeled as a project, you had to prioritize access to public funding. There was the IBA agency, the small agency, I can't remember exactly, maybe 20 persons working there, but trying to pull all the strings together to convince politicians about the meaningfulness of certain projects, which was very hard for some projects to qualify projects, and so that was a very important task, and it was a task driving force for the whole process. And for the region in itself, not only the projects were important, of course they are important, like the music school or like a regional bicycle network or like many other projects that have been developed. But there was a new spirit of optimism within the region. There was an intensive discussion process within the region of cooperation, and also projects off the beaten track were presented so that new ideas could really emerge within the region and also have the chance to get funded, what not would have been possible within the normal ways of funding big interventions. So, and of course it's important to have political backup all the time, that the political side is behind the project and behind these ideas that are coming into the region. And also it was important to have a time-limited funding. that increase the pressure on the decision-making process and on stakeholders to act. As I mentioned before, in Germany we sometimes plan things about if a motorway gets a tunnel or not, that takes sometimes 30 years. But it's because it's rethinking, because somebody's against the project and you have to design it in a new way, and then the European framework conditions have changed, so you have to adopt your project again. So it takes a long, long time. And but if there's only limited time, finding everywhere tries at least to speed up a little bit and to make all the administrative processes a little bit easier. That's also quite interesting. So the long-lasting results of this 10-year project for the change of for the structural change, of positive structural change of the rural area, that definitely there's image transformation of the region. Now, the identification of the people living in the region is definitely higher with the region. The people tend more to live there, tend more to stay there, and also big companies and small companies and little companies are more willing to stay there or to maybe to move there and to build new plants or whatsoever. The IVA has become a globally acclaimed model for creative regeneration, and it's being copied all over the world. There's similar projects that are started all over the world, well, in Switzerland and France, similar in Spain, but also many non-European countries. So this is really something like a brand for the rural area. It has very high quality projects. It's a splendid source of inspiration for future new projects. I should have shown you some of this very innovative project, but because of the time I decided not to do so, but maybe it would have been a good idea. So, but the quality of life nowadays in the rural area is much higher than before. You've got much more opportunities and things to choose from what to do. For example, with your leisure time. So it's really attractive, and And what is also important, that the attitudes of big corporations towards their land also change. And I want to give you one example of Dortmund. That's the big steel plant, the Krupp steel plant. We also had a Krupp steel plant in Dortmund. That's much bigger than on that picture. And that has been demanded. I think the last year of that plant working was, I don't know exactly, 1994, or 94, 95. And then the Chinese decided to buy this plant. And there came at least, I don't know, 5,000, 6,000 Chinese workers to Dortmund. And then dismantled this plant, they shifted to China, and they built it up there again. But what was the result of that process was that there was a big derelict area, brownfield area, that was, the area without the plant. So what to do with that area? And normally, the Krupp company, Krupp Thyssen company, wouldn't have sold it to nobody, because in their first hand had to decontaminate that land, and that land was highly contaminated. But there was a sort of a land bank in Austria and Westphalia that's paid by the regional government, that said, okay, we are going to buy it. They bought it for €1, but with the idea and with the need to decontamination, with the need to decontaminate that land, and that's really very, very costly. It costs at least 50, 60 million euros. They did it, and then afterwards they developed the land. Well, not the land bank, but the city of Dortmund then developed the land, and nowadays you can find a big lake with high quality housing around.